bout, missing crucial personnel. Hearts are significantly depleted, navigating this pressure without their legendary goalkeeper Craig Gordon, as well as key outfielders Oisin McEntee, Thomas Magnuson, Callum Nievenhoff, Eduardo Aguirre and Finlay Pollock. Harry Milne and Cameron Devlin remain late fitness doubts. Rangers, meanwhile, have travelled without Ter Romans, who's out with a muscle injury, alongside absentees Bailey Rice and Ryan Naderi. Let's get right to the team news, because the team sheets have just been handed in. Starting with the hosts, Derek McInnes has shifted away from his typical back three to deploy Hearts in a traditional 4-4-2 formation. He makes two changes from the side that secured that dramatic 2-1 victory over Hibs last weekend. Alexander Scholo remains in goal. Ahead of him, it looks like a flat back four of Michael Steinbender, Craig Halkett, Stuart Finlay and Stephen Kingsley. Finlay is having an exceptional season, not just defensively, but offensively too, boasting 5 goals from centre-back. In midfield, the changes are evident on the flanks. Islam Chesnikov and Alexandros Kizidiris come into the starting 11 to provide natural width, replacing Jordi Altena and Pierre Landry Kabori, who dropped to the bench. They all flank the trusted central duo of Mark Leonard and Benny Bangimi. Banning Emi's presence is monumental. The devout Christian has been brilliantly overcome a career-threatening ACL injury to anchor this midfield, and his defensive screen will be vital today. Up top is the deadly duo that's terrified Premiership defences all season. Captain Lawrence Shankland and Claudio Braga. Between them they share 27 league goals. Braga with 14, Shankland with 13. Give those two a sniff of a goal today and Rangers will be punished. Noticeably absent from the Hearts squad today are Harry Milne and Cameron Devlin. Both have clearly failed their late fitness tests and miss out entirely. Turning to Rangers, Danny Roll has reacted to last weekend's shock 3-2 defeat to Motherwell by bringing the changes. He makes 4 alterations and shifts to a 4-3-3 system. Jack Butland starts in goal, seeking to add to his impressive tally of clean sheets. In front of him, the massive news is the return of captains James Tavernier to the starting 11. Having recently announced his departure after 11 record-breaking years, the highest-scoring defender in British history returns to the right-back slot. He already has 8 league goals this term and ranks second in the entire division for big chances created with 17. His inclusion sees Dujon Sterling shift over to the left-back as Jaden Meghomer drops out of the matchday squad completely. Nasser Giga and Emmanuel Fernandez, a real aerial threat with 5 goals himself, make up the central pairing. In midfield, Mohamed Diamande comes into the side to join Tochi Chukwuani and reigning player of the year Nicholas Raskin. Raskin has 6 goals and 7 assists this term, and his battle with Banning Guinea in the engine room could very well decide the title. In the front three, Roll introduces Andreas Skov-Olsen and teenage Tottenham loanee Mikey Moore, who comes back into the fold looking to add to his 6 goals. They will operate on either side of the focal point, Youssef Chermiti. The Portuguese striker has 12 league goals since joining from Everton, and more importantly, he loves playing against Hearts. 4 of those goals have come against the Jambos, including a hat-trick back in February. Dropping to the Rangers bench are Thilo Arsgaard, JD Gassama and Bojan Miovski. Roll will be relieved to have Ter Rumans and Ryan Naderi available after the substitutes after all, both shaking off those muscle injuries. So 2 different shapes, a raft of tactical adjustments and massive personnel changes. The 2 managers have laid their cards very much on the table. Tasked with keeping order in this absolute cauldron is referee John Beaton, an incredibly experienced official in the Scottish game. Beaton is no stranger to the intense, suffocating atmosphere of high-stakes Premiership matches, having regularly taken charge of Old Firm derbies and cup finals over the last decade. His background demands a firm hand. Beaton is known for his authoritative style, and that's going to be essential tonight given the sheer magnitude of what is on the line. Tynecastle's steep stand sitting right on top of the pitch. The crowd will undoubtedly test his resolve and decision-making from the very first whistle. So Beaton's going to need to lean on every ounce of his experience to manage this one. So the sky is brighter than expected. The lights will be on soon, and the atmosphere is electric here at Tynecastle. A city is holding its breath, a country is watching. Will the old firm dominance crumble in the capital, or will the Rangers' resurgence find its second wind? We are live here, Heart and Midlothian Rangers. It's no longer a title race, it's a title sprint, and it starts now. Rangers kicking off, going from left to right here, and their long ball from Jack Butland goes all the way through to the Hearts goalkeeper Sholo, Derek McInnes and Danny Roll, just both nervously pacing around their technical areas at the moment. Both managers looking quite pensive and tense as this game gets underway. A long ball forward from Hearts. Claudio Braga chases it into the channel that comes off Giga and goes out for a throw-in, and it looks like Kingsley is going to be lining up the first long throw of the game. 31-year-old left back. Got a massive set-piece threat on the left-hand side, not just from his hands. In comes the long throw. Headed away comfortably enough by Giga. Wins the first contact. Back into the danger zone by Finley. Bounces over to the right-hand side where Chesnikov brings it down. Swings it into the box. Cleared by Rangers. Mark Leonard tries to bring it down in the midfield, but Rangers now come forward. The ball's released down the right-hand side. First chance for Skov Olsen to really get forward. That's a poor pass back, but it's retrieved in midfield by Diamande. Diamande tries to bend one in towards the far post. Chikawayane was trying to get round the back, but that's gone through to Sholo in Hearts' goal, and he moves up to the edge of his penalty area, and it's absolutely packed here at Tynecastle today. It's a nice evening here in the Scottish capital. Sholo kicks it up into the Edinburgh sky, and that's chested down by Tavernier. Tries to win the second ball, helped out on the right-hand side here by Skov Olsen. That goes out for a throw-in to Hearts, which Kingsley is going to take. Throw-in towards Shankland, well read by Raskin in the Rangers midfield, retrieved by Hearts. Leonard has it, goes out to the right, and Chesnikov. Chesnikov touches it back to Steinvender, the right back, gives it straight back to the wide man. Chesnikov looks up, drifts infield, looks to play it in towards the feet of Shankland, but Shankland goes one way, ball goes the other, and that just breaks down. And Rangers come out on the right-hand side, played forward, long sweeping ball, that's gone all the way across to the right-hand side, where this time Gizaridis collects the ball. He seems to be starting off on the right with Chesnikov on the left here, in a slight change to how the teams were lined up on paper before the game got underway. Kingsley plays it down the line, deflects up in the air, and Rangers get it to Skov Olsen. First chance for him to really move down this right wing now. The Norwegian plays it back inside to Chikawayane. Chikawayane gives it to Diamande, gets it back again. Diamande just takes a touch, turns, left-footed. Number 10, stylish midfielder, Diamande. But for all his style in the midfield, not a huge amount of output this season. Just 4 assists and 1 goal for the 24-year-old. Giga keeps the ball from the back, goes back out to Chikawayane. He seems to be playing more on the right-hand side of the midfield at the moment. Cleared forward by Butland. Chamiti tries to get up for that. It's brought down now by Shankland. Shankland gets a barge in the back from Raskin, and that is a free kick to Hearts, which they take quickly and move up towards the halfway line. Leonard on the ball. Turns round, plays it back to Finley. Finley also goes backwards, gives it back to the keeper Sholo. Sholo touches it with his right foot and then launches a long ball out towards the left-hand side, where Finley does get the header, heads it onto Braga. Braga's been bundled in from behind by Giga. Referee says play on, to much to Heart's surprise, but that's a good pinch in the midfield by Baningami. He gets it out to Braga. Braga trying to go round the outside, but that's good defending by Rangers. They clear it forward up over the halfway line, and Halkett just resets and goes back to Sholo once again. Hearts looking promising with their slightly more direct style at the moment. Looking to put the Rangers defence under a bit of pressure early, trying to get them to turn around and chase backwards. They go forward again long down the right-hand side. Shankland goes up Fernandez. Fernandez wins that header comfortably enough, and it comes off a Hearts player, so it's going to be a throw-in to Rangers on the left-hand side. 5 minutes gone here. Hearts 0, Rangers 0. So just to remind you of the stakes, Hearts are still top on 73 points, but yesterday Celtic drew level with them with a 2-1 win over Hibs, though Celtic have played a game more. So a victory here for Hearts would be huge, of course, and it would take Rangers out of the running in all but mathematical possibility. They're on 69 points. So Rangers' margin for error is absolutely non-existent. And Danny Roll's done an amazing job to get them very much in the conversation after a disastrous start under Russell Smith. Equally, Martin O'Neill's done a wonderful job at Celtic to keep them hot on Hearts' tails. But it has been Hearts who've been the most consistent team in the country so far. Had they got enough in their locker to get the title over the line, it would be their first title since 1960, and of course the first title not won by Celtic or Rangers in 41 years. The 1985 Scottish title won by Aberdeen was the last time that the Scottish Premiership wasn't won by one of the two Glasgow Giants. So throwing to Rangers down the right-hand side, thrown forward, ball down by Chimiti, touches it inside towards Scott Olsen. Shanklin gets back in and wins that. It's a nice little touch out to left. Finley quickly down the line, trying to release Chesnikov, but just goes out of play. Opportunity there for Hearts to get forward, didn't quite take it. Chimiti chests it down to Scott Olsen. Tavernier brings it forward. He clips it from right to left. That's a good-looking ball out to the left-hand side where Sterling gets it down. He now gets a chance to run. That's good defending by Steinbender. Stands up, does his job, and now Kizarides tries to break forward. Raskin comes across, goes out for Hearts throw. Raskin not convinced that was the right decision by our referee Beaton. Drops the ball on the floor, and Kizarides goes to retrieve it, throws it back to Steinbender, who's going to take this throw-in. 26-year-old Austrian right back. Up against Mikey Moore on that touchline today as well. Came in from Van Ammo back in January of last year. And it's actually his birthday as well. 26 years old today, Steinbender. Will he get the obvious birthday present that he will be looking for, which is 3 points here at Tynecastle? Rangers come forward again. Diamande tries to get it through to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore, a little touch up and over, but that breaks down, and well picked up in the midfield by Leonard. Keeps the possession by going back to Finley. Finley quickly out to Kingsley. Nice triangles here from Hearts, just inside their own half, and now left-footed Finley plays forward, looking for Braga. Braga's done well to get in and around Giga, make life difficult for him, but I think Beaton has felt the Portuguese, has jumped into Giga there. Yeah, you can just see on my monitor now, looking back at it again, that Braga did give Giga just a little push and the free kick given. But good to see that Hearts are playing with a classic front two here that are going to be asking questions of two centre-backs. So often in the game nowadays you see two centre-backs marking one striker just by asking different questions, by having two players up there. You never know what joy you might get. Kizarides on the right-hand side for Hearts, goes back inside to Halkett. Halkett turns, goes even deeper to Finley, who moves it quickly out to the left. Finley moves it on to Kingsley. Kingsley helps it round the corner, flipped on by Braga. Shanklin just came in underneath the ball, so Fernandez able to head away. Goes down the right-hand side of the Hearts defence, and Halkett just lobs it back forward, gets it back again after the Rangers header. Touches it short into Leonard. Leonard just outside the centre circle, drifts across the middle of the pitch before rolling it out to the 30-year-old Finley. 5 goals from centre-half this season for Finley. He's a threat from set pieces. Nice build-up from Hearts. Leonard trying to thread it through to Braga. It's broken away again for Rangers. And Tavernier tries to clear down the line, but it's come off Chesnikov, and that will be a throw-in that the Rangers captain is going to take. Of course, announced that Tavernier will be leaving Rangers in the summer. Such a long-standing talisman in the record scoring defender in British history. 113 goals for Rangers in his 451 games to date. As he throws it up to Youssef Chermiti. Chermiti gets a free kick awarded against him, and this is an opportunity now for Hearts to swing a ball into the Rangers box. Rangers are holding their line on the edge of the penalty area. Kingsley standing over it, as is Chesnikov. It's midway inside the Rangers half, so it's going to be quite a long free kick that comes in. Chesnikov swings it in. First contact by a Hearts head. Halkett got up and he's headed up and over the crossbar. Good ball in by Chesnikov. Butland opted to stay on his line. Chermiti got nowhere near his man Halkett, who won the header cleanly. And looking back at it now, probably should have done better. Absolute free header up and over Jack Butland's crossbar, and Hearts with the first real glimpse of each other's goal in this one. 11 minutes gone, Hearts 0, Rangers 0. Slightly more than half a chance there for Craig Halkett, and mentioned the fact that his central defensive partner Stuart Finley's got 5 goals this season. Well, Craig Halkett's got 4 himself, though his last one was all the way back on the 3rd of January against Livingston. Halkett possibly could have given them the lead here. And here comes Claudio Braga down the left-hand side now. Good strength, gets into the penalty area, tries to clip it over to the far side. It falls to Kizirides. He gets it back across to Braga, who shoots. Well defended by Tavernier. Came across and got the block on the shot. Kizirides brings it down again on the right-hand side. Was he fouled? No, the referee says no, and it falls to Mikey Moore, who plays down the line to Chermiti, trying to get Rangers up the field. Chermiti brings it down on his chest. Touch comes in from Halkett, and it is a throw-in to Rangers near the halfway line now. And Hearts suddenly finding a little bit of joy going down their left. Braga, very mobile, getting into good positions and nearly created something there and almost had a shot on goal himself. Tavernier with some good defending. Here comes Skov Olsen, plays it across the edge of the penalty area. Raskin's into the box, he plays it across the 6. Nobody comes round the back. Raskin gets the ball again to the left of the area now. Drops it back to Chukwuani. Chukwuani gives it back to Raskin. Raskin tries to play a little 1-2, gets a lucky bounce off the Hearts player, gets a cross in, that turns into a cross-come shot, and Sholo has to palm it away for a corner. So Nicholas Raskin popping up all over the place at the moment. Hard to say he's the holding midfielder of the midfield 3 of Rangers. Trying to curl it into the box, but Sholo was taking no chances there, puts it out for a corner. James Tavernier goes over to the far hand side to take Rangers' first corner of this match. He's just waiting for the referee to allow him to take the corner. There's a couple of off the ball things going on there. I think Raskin has just thrown Baningami to the floor. Mark Leonard comes over to say that Beaton might want to have a closer look at what's going on there. Ajiga's there as well. Leonard's marking Ajiga. And Raskin's got his hands all over Mark Leonard this time. Surely when this corner comes in, a free kick will be given. In it comes. Well punched away by Sholo. Only as far as Diamande. He strikes it, has hit a Hearts player on the way through. Goes a long way up the pitch. Put back into the mixer by Rangers. Headed away by Hearts, and they now clear their line and get themselves up the pitch. Diamande tries to keep the ball in play. Does a good job. Gets the throw in. Takes the throw in quickly and throws it back to Giga, who's dropped back into his central defensive position now. Diamande, the Ivory Coast player, came in from Nordirland all the way back in 2024 now for £4.3 million. A big signing for Rangers a few years ago. Key to how Danny Rolls got the team playing. Here comes Mikey Moore drifting in from central again. Mikey Moore, but that's good tackle in there by Baningami. then a free kick given away by Chukwuani, who goes crashing into Stein-Bender, and it's a free kick to Hearts just inside their own half. Ball's moved out quickly to the left, and Finley rolls it back across his line to Halkett, who moves it quickly to Mark Leonard. Leonard gets a chance to look around and see if he can play forward. Didn't have any options, so gives it to Stein-Bender on the right. Kizaridis drifts in field now from that right touchline, goes across to the left-hand side of Finley. He moves it on quickly to Kingsley. Kingsley right-footed, helps it round the corner. That was a good run in behind by Chesnikov. Got Giga stretching. Chukwuani wins it in the air, falls to Shankland on the edge of the box. Shankland tried to bring it down, was battling with Fernandez, and Fernandez ends up putting it out for a throw-in to Hearts, which they take quickly. Goes into Kizaridis. Kizaridis gets the crossing, comes off Dujon Sterling, who just about reacts to stop it from going to it for a corner, but gives it back to Kizaridis. He rolls it back into midfield. Hearts now patiently on the right-hand side again. Stein-Bender tries to come forwards, bounces off Sterling, and that's going to be another throw to Hearts on that right-hand side. Leonard has the ball in his hands this time. Has Mark Leonard got a long throw up his sleeves? Well, Hearts aren't exactly bombing into the penalty area, but now Halkett has come forward, so if they're sending Halkett up there, and Findlay too, we can safely assume that Mark Leonard is about to launch one into the box. In comes the throw, not the longest throw, flicked on at the near post though, and it needed a touch from Fernandez to clear it forward to Chimiti. Chimiti brings it down nicely, plays it to Diamande, gets it back again. Chimiti now breaks through the middle of the park, touches it over the halfway line. Here come Rangers down the right hand side with Skov Olsen. Skov Olsen comes inside on his left foot, plays it across towards Diamande. That's good covering there by Mark Leonard. He's got back into a good position, got a touch on the ball, and Hearts clear it all the way upfield to Jack Butland, who retrieves it just outside his penalty area and gets it over to Fernandez, who moves the ball into the centre circle. Emmanuel Fernandez, another big signing for Rangers back in 2025, £2.5 million he came in for from Peterborough. Good ball forward by Fernandez, well won in the air by Findlay, just stops Skov Olsen coming in from the wing and getting in behind. Kingsley clears it forwards, Brava unable to bring this one down, and Giga is able to return it back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland, and quickly shifts it out once again to Fernandez. And just waits for Hearts to come on to him a little bit. Diamande drops into a good position to get on the ball. He rolls it out to the left-hand side. Touched on by Raskin to Sterling. Sterling goes all the way back to Fernandez, who plays inside again to Diamande. Diamande just sitting in between the two centre-backs at the minute. Gives it to Sterling again. Sterling's able to drive forwards now from left-back. Tries to release it down the outside. That's a good slide tackle coming in from Stein-Bender to put it out for a corner to Rangers on that far hand side once again. So across comes James Tavernier to take it. 18 minutes gone, Hearts 0, Rangers 0. Entertaining game here without a great deal of quality in either box as of yet, but both teams fully committed, both teams clearly looking to win it. There's no suggestion that Hearts would be happy with a point at this stage, and Rangers know that they have to win this to realistically stay in the title fight. Tavernier puts both hands up in the air. He's going to swing this into a crowded 6-yard box by the looks of it. In it comes underneath the crossbar, and that was a huge chance in the end for Chukwuani. He just jumped underneath the ball a little bit at the far post, and he's headed that comfortably over the crossbar from about 3 yards out. He was always stretching, never really getting above the ball. Danny Roll almost heading it in himself on the sidelines, but Chukwuani just never really got high enough to get over the ball to head it down, and it goes up and over the crossbar. Excellent ball in by Tavernier. And a bit like Finlay or Halkett had a good chance a little earlier for Hearts, I think that one has to go down as one of equal opportunity for Rangers. So still 0-0 as Sholo slams the ball forward, one in the air comfortably enough by Chukwuani this time. Goes forward again, and Fernandez just heads it back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland, who quickly puts it down to Giga. Giga rolls it back to the Englishman in goal. Burkina Faso player came in from Wolverhampton Wanderers in England, Giga. Long ball forward from Butland, goes all the way through, and Sholo has to come running out of his penalty area to clear that forward. Headed forward again by Diamandi. Halke able to bring it down and calm things down. Gives it back to Steinbender, and once more Sholo goes long. Braga doesn't win that in the air, but it does break out to the left-hand side. Quickly in by Tavernier, gets the ball forward for Rangers, and good cover by Finley, who once more goes back to his goalkeeper. Halke gets it out to the right-hand side. Steinbender plays it forward to Kizarides. Nice ball by Kizarides. Leonard looked to go forward quickly. Braga nearly got there, but that was well read by Giga. Just got in front of the front man. Took it off his toes. Hearts get the ball down again. Kizarides turns on the halfway line, turns back the other way, gets it back to Steinbender. Leonard again with a nice little bit of possession kept on the halfway line. He's good at getting out of these tight spaces, Mark Leonard. Age 24 now, has come in on loan from Birmingham City in the January window. Tries to go forward himself that time. Braga trying to run in behind, that runs through to Jack Butler, dressed all in orange. The tall, imposing figure of Jack Butland, 6'5". The Englishman came in back in 2023 on a free transfer from Crystal Palace. Here comes Skov Olsen down the right wing. He's gone to his right foot this time, tries to get the cross in. Kingsley does well to block it, get it back out again. Skov Olsen fires a little ball round the corner, touched back by Raskin to Tavernier. Tavernier shoots, hits the back of Halkett, and Hearts clear their line. Tavernier getting into a dangerous position there, struck the ball well enough. Halkett just turned his back on it somewhat surprisingly, but did enough as well to be able to clear it away. Just feels like Rangers are getting into the ascendancy here marginally. 22 minutes gone, and in that first 2 minutes of play, Rangers have had slightly more of the ball, 53% possession. Both teams have had one shot on target. Big throw comes in. Rangers, it's deflected, it's up and it's in. Dujon Sterling coming round the back. Hearts did not deal with the long throw. It bounced to Sterling, who took a shot. It deflected off a Hearts defender, and it's just looped up over Sholo. And it is the English left back who has given Rangers the lead here at Tynecastle. Big throw comes in from Tavernier. Flicked on in the end by a Hearts head. And I've done Sterling a bit of disservice. He's actually followed it down through the legs of Steinbender, but it's gone so hard down into the turf. It is then spun up over Sholo, looking like it. Oh no, I take it back. It did get a deflection off Steinbender. Just seen it from a different angle. It did come off the heel of Steinbender, which gave the ball even more spin coming off the turf. Sholo was absolutely groping at thin air there, and 23 minutes into this one, Rangers have taken the lead, and that would make it all very tight indeed if that did end up being the result here. With that goal, Rangers would move on to 72 points, Celtic on 73 and Hearts on 73 as well. But there is a long way to go in this Scottish Premiership top of the table clash. Hearts come out from the back again. Little ball into Baningame. But those are Hearts player offside. So we're going to beat referee John Beaton has stopped the game, and the ball will go back up into the Rangers back line for the free kick. And I was just saying before they scored, it felt like Rangers were getting into the ascendancy. Hearts has started off brightly, plenty of passion, plenty of running, but Rangers just felt like they were delivering a fraction more quality than the home team. Derek McInnes not looking particularly relaxed on the touchline right now, and so much for Hearts to lose, having been the consistent team over the season. And Rangers and Celtic have fought their way back into contention. And with so much history of winning the title between them, Hearts will certainly be feeling the pressure of this run-in. Another throw-in opportunity for Rangers, this time from the left-hand side. So Tavernier has gone all the way over to take it. Thought about taking it short, but I think wisely has changed his mind and he's looking to launch another one into the penalty area. In it comes, just all the way to the 6-yard box, headed away by Halkett, touched by Kizaridis. He's trying to find a way out, plays it back to Steinvender. Steinvender's only able to poke that out for a throw, but it's come off a Rangers player, so it is a throw-in, which Steinvender is going to take. Rangers fans in fine voice here at Tynecastle. They certainly don't believe they're out of the title conversation, and that goal by Dujon Sterling certainly backs up what they must have been thinking before kickoff. Steinvender on the right hand side just about gets it away from Mikey Moore and then plays long forward. Braga puts Fernandez under pressure and wins the throw-in off the English central defender. Just looking through the Rangers team today, not that it matters of course from the game point of view, but there's no Scottish players starting for Rangers today. And looking at Hearts, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their team are Scottish in the lineup. So there's two contrasting styles of squad building here as well. Hearts, of course, now with a bit of backing from Brighton's Tony Bloom and his Jamestown Analytics FC company, very much supporting in the recruitment at Hearts, and they brought in players like Claudio Braga. He came in from Arlesund in Norway for a nominal fee in the second flight there. Kizaridis came in on a free transfer, having previously been at Debrecen. Chesnikov as well came in the January window from Tobol, the Kazakhstan player. And even Steinvender to a certain extent, coming in from Varnamo, the Swedish team that went on a wonderful run, getting themselves up into the top flight in Sweden. So some good recruitment has happened at Hearts, on a much smaller budget of course than Rangers, but Rangers have gone bigger in the transfer market, and their big signing, Yusuf Chamiti's just been crashed into from behind by Halkett, and Chamiti is started to win the Rangers fans over. 12 goals this season for the 21-year-old. Plenty of upside potential for the Portuguese striker, and of course Nicholas Raskin also being linked to Premier League teams as well. 25-year-old Belgian in the midfield. Tavernier is going to take another free kick. Launches this one towards the Hearts penalty area again. One in the air by Giga, but cleared away by Hearts. Shankland gives chase with Braga down the left, but that goes out for a throw-in to Rangers. And Hearts do need to find a way of just getting some control into this game. Rangers are feeling pretty comfortable at this exact moment, coming up to 29 minutes on the clock. Rangers leading Hearts by a goal to nil here. Sunshine bathing Tynecastle, and on this May bank holiday, lovely evening in the Scottish capital, but not a lovely evening in terms of how the game is going for the home team's fans. Skov Olsen touches it back to Diamande. Diamande rolls it across the middle of the pitch to Giga, gets it back again from the central defender. Diamande thinks about going forwards, but just rolls it into Chikwani, gets it back again, now moves it cleverly through to Sterling, who's inverted a little bit from left back. Nice ball into Tavernier, who's almost playing as a central midfielder at the moment. Move breaks down for Rangers. Kingsley clears forward, one for Braga to try and run onto again, but once more Fernandez steps across and does a good job defensively, gives it to Giga. Giga takes a couple of touches and moves the ball over to his central defensive partner Fernandez once more. rolls the ball into Chukwuani. The Danish midfielder moves it on one more to Giga, who comes forward. Diamande into midfield now. Nice little ball to Chukwuani again. Tries to play forward, well read by Finlay. Finlay gives it to Kingsley. Kingsley loses possession to Skov Olsen. Presses hard to try and win it back again. Nice little bit of skill by Skov Olsen to flick it down the line to Tavernier. Tavernier made it difficult for Diamande there, but Diamande's nearly got away from Chesnikov. No, he hasn't. Ball breaks again. And it's Kizaridis on the left-hand side. Plays it field to Shanklin. Shanklin takes a touch to his right. Ooh, and Braga just fell over as he thought about shooting. Just lost his footing. And suddenly Rangers are breaking down the left-hand side. Good feet to come inside. Played into Skov Olsen. Skov Olsen touches it back. Mikey Moore moves it out to the on-rushing Raskin. Raskin keeps possession now. The move slowed down a bit for Rangers, so Diamande slowly just puts his foot on the ball, calms it all down, gives it to Giga. Giga plays it into Chukwuani. Should be getting that much space in the centre circle. Little touch by Mikey Moore trying to come forward, loses out. Kizaridis has given it away again, and it's breaking down for Hearts far too easily at the moment. Giga plays it to Fernandez. Fernandez steps into the centre circle, brings the ball forward. Good strides forward here from Fernandez. Tries to play it through. That's a good ball to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore drags the ball back underneath his right foot. Moves into the area. Little flick forward. Broken down. Good defending by Hearts. Goes out to the right. Tavernier unable to keep that one in. And Hearts will have a throw in and a chance to release the pressure valve a little bit by just slowing it down. They're going to have a throw in midway inside their own half. But they haven't really kept hold of the ball for more than one or two passes in the last 7 or 8 minutes. And it's going to need to be better. Derek McInnes knows that. You can tell that by the expression on his face on the touchline. Kingsley throws it infield to Leonard. Leonard turns and plays it all the way back to Sholo. Sholo takes his time and then just kicks the ball to Craig Halkett. Halkett brings it up the pitch before driving a terrible ball from right to left, trying to pick out Chesnikov on the left. Easily cut out by Skov Olsen, and now Rangers can start another move. Chukwuani plays infield to Chimiti. Chimiti drops in deep and then just plays it back to Fernandez. Fernandez to Sterling, the goal scorer. His goal has given Rangers a vital lead here at Tynecastle. Rangers are playing well, it has to be said now. They are really taking control of this game. Of course, as soon as I say that, Diamande gives it away sloppily. Kingsley gets on the ball. He gives it away. Skov Olsen then goes flying in after a heavy first touch himself. He catches Kizaridis. Skov Olsen failed to control it. Then his second touch was a foul on Kizaridis, and it's a free kick to Hearts. No further action taken by John Beaton. I think he just saw that was a lunge to try and win the ball rather than a lunge to deliberately foul the player. Mark Leonard has the free kick, just a step or two inside the Rangers half. Rangers are dropping off and holding their line on the edge of the D. Hearts fans are a little bit quiet at the moment. Their team needs them as Leonard steps up, clips the ball towards the penalty area, the far side of the penalty area. Good win at the far post, but that's good goalkeeping as well by Butland. The ball was won at the far post by Halkett. He headed back across goal. Fernandez headed up into the air, and then that was when Butland took control of matters. Came off his line, claimed it over the top of his centre-back. Collapses to the floor, and now plays forward. Butland up to Chimiti. Chimiti does a good job of bringing that down. Now spins down the right-hand side. Nice feet to come back into the middle again. Tries to curl one all the way over towards Nicholas Raskin, who's coming round the back. Leonard saw the danger, tracks his man from midfield, heads it out for a corner. Very nice play by Yusuf Chimiti. Dropped into the hole, turned, tried to bend the ball to the far post where Raskin was coming in. And as I say, Mark Leonard tracks his man from midfield well, heads it out for a corner. So it's another corner to Rangers on that far hand side. All their corners have come from the far side, and James Tavernier is over there once again to take it. Steps up, swings it into the 6-yard box. First contact again by a Hearts player. It's Shankland, who half clears, but only as far as Skov Olsen, who does well to turn, gets the ball inside. Tavernier touches it across. Diamande plays it back round the back, and Mikey Moore trying to reach, trying to bring the ball down under control, unable to do so, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Hearts. Shole quickly retrieves the ball. They've got 10 minutes plus injury time here. Have Hearts to try and impose themselves more on this game. Rangers only 55% possession. Rangers, it has felt like more than that, and in fairness, Hearts have had 36 dangerous attacks to Rangers 33. That's not really what the eyes are telling me. Feels like Rangers are controlling this game a lot more than Hearts. Leonard sweeps it down the right wing towards the rushing Kizaridis, but Butland reads that well, quickly out to the edge of his area. Picks up the ball and now just walks back in towards his 6-yard line. Puts the ball down again. No pressure yet from Harsin. He's able to play the ball quickly into Chukwuani. Chukwuani gets it back again from Fernandez, and Rangers now trying to move through the thirds themselves, but they've gone back to Giga. Giga goes right to his captain, Tavernier. Moves it down the right-hand side to the left foot of Scott Olsen, who just touches it quickly into Mikey Moore, who's running from deep. Mikey Moore's gone all the way across the penalty area. Plays it to his left now. Touch back into Chukwuani. Chukwuani gives it to Raskin. Raskin opts to play sensible. Gives it back to Fernandez. Quickly over to Giga. Now space for Giga to drive forward. I think Shankland's left one on Fernandez again. Fernandez is down on the floor, playing on here. Giga has the ball, but now the Rangers players are saying to Giga, put it out into touch so Fernandez can get some treatment. That must have been quite off the ball, because I didn't see it happen, and when I quickly looked back at my monitor, it had moved on as well. So let's see what happened again here. Ball went back into Fernandez, who played it off, and then Shankland, as the ball was leaving, came crashing into the side of Fernandez, and wasn't anything more than your classic centre forward, just letting the centre back know he still exists. I don't think there's going to be any further action taken, but Hearts are taking this opportunity to get into a huddle themselves on the pitch, which is interesting. This isn't Derek McInnes calling them over to the sidelines for tactical instruction. It's actually Lawrence Shankland, the captain, getting the players together and trying to G them up a little bit. Fernandez is back on his feet, 24-year-old centre-back. Just looking up in the stands around me here, because Steve Clark, the Scotland manager, he's sitting next to Chris Wilder, the Sheffield United manager. And Tony Bloom's here as well in a burgundy or maybe a claret blazer, sporting the home team's colours, of course. His £10 million investment has gone a long way to helping Hearts. Yellow card was given to Lawrence Shankland, and Hearts are now just kicking the ball back to Jack Butland so we can restart the game. 7 minutes plus injury time remains at the end of this first half. Important goal for Rangers. It's a goal that has the table as it stands, with Rangers still in third, but now only a point behind Celtic and Hearts at the top. Hearts would remain top with a 3-goal better goal difference than Celtic as it stands. Here come Hearts trying to come through. Braga trying to link up with Shankland, but Giga reads it well again. He brings the ball out of defence. Referee's played an advantage. It's been clipped forwards towards Chamiti. Steinbender's come in over the top of Chamiti, trying to head it back to the goalkeeper just outside the penalty area, and it is a free kick. In fact, it was Diamande who was all the way forward there. It wasn't Chamiti. It just looked like Diamande was dropping down already before the challenge came in from Chesnikov, and it is a free kick to Rangers in a very dangerous position, all the way over on the left of the penalty area, but just fractionally outside. Looking back at it again, I don't think that was a free kick. Diamande stumbled, and if anything, it was his stumble that meant that Chesnikov was unable to truly time his jump properly. But James Tavernier has the ball down. It's 2 paces in from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Sholo's lining up his wall. John Beaton has put the magic spray down to let that wall know where it has to be, and Tavernier's just trying to instruct the Rangers players where he wants them, and I think Tavernier might get shown a yellow card here for... No, referee's put his book away again, but Tavernier just trying to get two Rangers players standing in front of the four-man wall. And I think he's now got it where he wants it. So Rangers' captain has put the ball down. He's going to strike this one right-footed, and we can assume it's a shot incoming. It is a shot incoming, goes straight into the Hearts wall. Does its job well, jumps, clears the ball, and Tavernier retrieves it on the halfway line for Rangers. Now puts the ball back towards the Hearts penalty area, flicked on at the far hand side by Fernandez, breaks back out again to Diamandi, cleared by Hearts. Tavernier plays it back into the Hearts penalty area once again. This time Findlay wins it in the air from Fernandez. Diamandi goes flying in midfield. Baningami goes to ground, but no foul, and Giga plays long for Rangers, looks to play it down the Rangers right, headed away by Kingsley, helped on by Chesnikov. Ball breaks around in the centre circle, and Fernandez is able to bring it down and just touch it off to Skov Olsen, who's on the left-hand side at the moment. Mikey Moore gets it, tries to come inside, shut down by Steinbender. It breaks up to Braga. Braga, is he fouled from behind? No, the referee says play on again. A lot being let go here by John Beaton. Raskin going in from behind there on Braga. Rangers start again in the centre circle. Diamandi just rolls it over to Dujon Sterling. Of course, it's his goal that separates the two teams. Mikey Moore has it out on the left wing, comes in field, looks to clip it into the box towards Chamiti. Chamiti half gets a header, a goal cleared away by Findlay. Hooked on by Leonard. Hearts breathe a huge sigh of relief because that looked like it was danger for them. Shanklin touches it off to the onrushing Chesnikov, but that just comes off the toes of the Kazakhstani and goes out for a throw-in to Rangers. Hearts just aren't linking up in attack or even in midfield the way that they would have hoped, and Derek McInnes is going to have some work to do at half-time to get his title hopefuls back into this game. It's not a disaster going in 1-0 down, but there'll be a lot of concern given the nature of the performance so far, and Hearts haven't been firing on all cylinders. I mean, yes, they beat Hibs 2-1, but they were 1-0 down, and then Hibs went down to 10, then they went down to 9. It was against 9 men that Hearts eventually pressed and pushed and got the winner. It does feel like they are stumbling towards the title more than running towards the finishing line. Of course, the pressure on them is huge. Long throw from Tavernier into the box, flicked on again, and Steinbender is able to clear it down the wing for Hearts, but nobody's going to chase and get that one. Played forward again by Rangers down the left-hand side. Chamiti trying to bring it down, lets it run on to Skov Olsen, but there's a breakdown in communication between everyone there, and in the end Halkett clears forward. First of all, Chamiti and Skov Olsen weren't on the same wavelength, and Sholo and Halkett made a bit of a meal of dealing with that. Played forward again by Rangers. Chamiti tries to go up, good win in the air by Findlay, heads it forward. Tavernier brings it down with one touch, and then with his second goes back to Butland. Butland's put under pressure by Chesnikov, but Rangers come out quite nicely. It was a poor touch in the end by Tavernier, and Shanklin able to put it out for a throw-in. Tavernier in no real hurry to take this throw on the right-hand side, just in line with the Rangers penalty area. Looks down the line, he's waving for Chamiti to go further away, throws it longer. Chamiti doesn't win the header, that's a good jump by Findlay to get it. Brought down in midfield by Baningami. He's had his pocket picked by Diamande, and now Raskin is able to release it to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore gives it back to Raskin. Raskin infield across to Chamiti. Chamiti tries to take a touch to go round Findlay. He stands his ground, falls to Skov Olsen. Skov Olsen to Diamande, trying to get it onto his left foot. Plays a nice ball in towards Chukwuani, but Hearts clear it up to the halfway line, and Fernandez goes back to Jack Butland. Good bit of tempo to that attack from Rangers, but Hearts stood their ground. Giga just runs across the middle of the pitch and then gives it to Fernandez after that initial burst of movement. into Diamande, and Rangers very much rotating the three midfield positions in this first half. Sometimes it's Diamande who's deepest, sometimes it's Chukwuani, sometimes it's Raskin, and very fluid in that midfield. Lots of rotations of movement. Headed forward by Halkett, brought down in midfield. Mikey Moore has a chance to run down the left for Rangers. Comes in field to where it's a little bit more shaded in the middle of the pitch. Diamande has it. Left footer takes a nice touch to evade Braga, who was dropping back into cover. Plays it easy to Chukwuani. Chukwuani goes back to Giga. Nice little ball in. Good turn again by Mikey Moore. Plays a clever little ball down the side to Tavernier. Tavernier gets the cross in, deflected away. Falls to Scott Olsen. Scott Olsen tries to get a shot cleared away by Hart. Braga's done incredibly well to bring that one down because it was just a hoof up pitch. He's brought it down, but he's unable to get away from Diamande and Giga. That's good work between the two of them, and Rangers can come forward again. Scott Olsen touches it infield. They go back to Giga. Diamande just closed slowly, calming things down, and then Chukwuani equally just at walking pace now. Rangers on the halfway line. We had 1 minute of injury time come up on the board, and that 1 minute is gone pretty quickly. There's the half-time whistle. It is Dujon Sterling's goal which separates the two teams here at half-time. His second goal for Rangers in the Premiership, and it is Hearts 0, Rangers 1. Sterling's 23rd minute strike separates these two teams. We will be back in about 15 minutes time to bring you live coverage of the second half. Join us back right then. Welcome back to Tynecastle, everyone, for this critical Scottish Premiership match between Hearts and Rangers. Well, the big news is that Rangers lead Hearts 1-0 at half-time. Dujon Sterling's 23rd minute goal separating the two teams. It's been a lot of hustle and bustle in this one, but not a great deal of quality in front of goal yet. Hearts just 36% of the ball, and that led to a tiny XG of 0.02. One shot in the first half for the home team. Slightly better for Rangers. Obviously, they've shared the other 64% of the possession. XG of 0.46. Shots on goal, just one on target. Two big chances created. And they've had the better of the set-piece opportunities as well. 3 corners for Rangers. But it's been the long throws of James Tavernier that's caused the most problems, really, for the Hearts' defence. And going back to the goal, it was a James Tavernier long throw that was flicked on by a Hearts defender and then tucked away by Sterling, deflected off the heel of Steinbender, the right back. And it looks like Hearts might be making a change at half-time as the two teams are re-emerging. Chesnikoff seems to have been replaced by Blair Spittle. So it looks like it's going to be a reshuffle for Derek McInnes's team. Just as soon as we have official confirmation of that, I will give you the two teams here. Hearts will be kicking from left to right in the second half at Tynecastle. And of course, as the table stands right now, Rangers still in third, up to 72 points. Hearts still top on 73, and Celtic jammed in between the two of them, also on 73 points. Hearts gets back underway. Big up and under from Mark Leonard out to the right-hand side. And yeah, that substitution has just been confirmed. Blair Spittle on for Chesnikoff. He's coming on for the 11th time this season. Actually scored when coming off the bench against Hibernian last time out, so they'll be hoping that the magic can be repeated. Usually comes on a little bit earlier than this, a little bit later than this as well. His average time coming onto the pitch is 73 minutes, so on at half time, big change made by Derek McInnes, and we'll see how he fits into the lineup, how they're playing from now. And here come Hearts down their left hand side. Good foot comes in from De Giga. The Hearts player hits the deck, but no foul at all. Benengami gets possession. Not much from him in the first half. They want to see a little bit more from him in the second. Leonard gets on the ball. He was neat and tidy in possession. So let's go through the Hearts team. Well, we'll just break off as they get across into the box. Hooked away by Fernandez. Good touch by Fernandez. Rangers try and come forward. And the ball comes out to the right-hand side now, and Kiziridis comes forward, plays inside to Baningami. Baningami to Leonard. Leonard across to Finley. Finley out to the left. Spittle comes in, gets the cross in, headed away again by Giga. Leonard tries to get it in midfield, but Chamiti gets there, and they break forward quickly. Rangers, that breaks down for them. Let's give you the Hearts team, bearing in mind still just trying to work out how they've reconfigured, but Sholo's in goal, back four, Steinbender, Halkett, Finley and Kingsley. Kiziridis on the right, Leonard and Baningami in the middle. Spittle nominally playing off the left at the minute, with Claudio Braga and Lawrence Shankland as the front two. Here comes Kiziridis down the right hand side again, but that's well won, and forward come Rangers. Mikey Moore drifts in. That's a good bit of work this time by Banengami. He wins the ball, breaks to Spittle. Spittle touches it back in, then the sub gets the ball again on the right hand side. So Spittle looks like he's going to be playing quite freely. And potentially Braga has gone out to the left-hand side. Spittle may be playing a little bit more central, alongside Lawrence Shankland, maybe. Rangers team, Jack Butland in goal. James Tavernier, Giga, Fernandez, Dujon Sterling, the goal scorer across the back four. Midfield three of Diamande, Chukwuani and Nicholas Raskin, the Belgian. Here come Hearts down the left-hand side. That's been kept in just about by Giga, puts it out for a throw. And then the front three for Rangers. Scott Olsen on the right, Mikey Moore on the left, Yusuf Chamiti through the middle. Throw into Hearts on this left-hand side. Kingsley has the ball in hand. Going to be a long throw from the fullback, is it? No, he just throws it back to Spittle. Spittle gives it back to him. Now Spittle gets the chance to put a cross in on the angle. Plays it to Shankland. Shankland chests it down to the edge. Little back heel to Shankland. Can Shankland get a shot in? He can. That's a good header away by Fernandez. That was travelling towards Jack Butland's goal. And Fernandez threw himself at the ball, headed it away, and then a follow-up from a Rangers player, from a Hearts player goes high and wide. Good bit of defending, and it was then Spittle following up, whose shot just span off the outside of his right foot and went high and wide of Butland's goal. But a little bit brighter for Hearts already at the start of this second half. We've had 4 minutes of it and they still trail by a goal to nil. Derek McInnes would have hoped to have seen an immediate improvement from his team after the half-time break, and I think he can say he's seen that box ticked. Chamiti breaks into the penalty area, plays it across, hooked away by Steinbender, goes all the way out for a throw into Rangers on the right-hand side in line with the Hearts penalty area. Tavernier comes across once again to take it. Is he going to launch a long one in? Well, he's chosen a dry ball because he's opted not to use the one that was in play. Giga makes his way towards the near post area. Mikey Moore loitering on the edge of the box. Here comes the throw in from Tavernier, headed away, foul on a Hearts defender there by Chamiti, and I think that's Finley just telling the referee that's 3 fouls now in that situation. Hearts break down the right hand side. Kizaridis looking to slowly build up, touched by Stein. Bender comes off the pressing Chukwuani. Throw in that the Austrian on his birthday is going to throw forward. Shankland heads it down to Kizaridis. Poor touch by the Greek. One back by Steinbender. Mikey Moore goes off the pitch with the force of the tackle. Hearts play it down the right hand side. That's going to be a throw into Rangers because that runs out of play. Just need to up their quality levels. Hearts have not really linked play up at all well. They've been pretty direct, but there hasn't then been enough of a direct ball for the front two to do anything with, and when they have been able to bring it down, they've not been supported quick enough to really do anything with it. Braga heads it back into midfield to Baningami, and now there's a chance for Hearts to get on the ball with Kizaridis on the right hand side. Plays it back out to number 10 Braga, who's floating around a lot more now. Braga swings it into the box. Good header away by Fernandez, up all the way forward to Chamiti. Chamiti's been out-muscled by Halkett. Hearts get the ball down in the middle of the park again. Leonard over to the centre circle, and Finley, who moves it forward out of the centre circle, keeps coming with the ball, plays it off to Kingsley. Kingsley goes from left to right. It's a big switch to find Kizaridis. This is a nice move. This in comes the cross. Nobody really attacked it from the Hearts point of view. Scott Olsen hooks it away. Headed forward again by Leonard. Baningami, who seems to be playing a little bit further forward now for Hearts. Leonard sitting at the base of midfield. And it's a throw into Hearts on the left-hand side. So Kingsley goes out to get the ball, throws it quickly back into the centre circle where Halkett brings it down and moves it across to his right back, Steinbender. He gets the ball out wider to Kizaridis. Now Kizaridis gets on the ball, starts running in, little ball round the corner, looking for the run of Braga. Kizaridis gets it down again. Little touch by Halkett. Halkett into Baningami. Oh, he tries picking Chagler. It's broken to Braga's shot. Good save by Butland down to his right-hand side. Hearts looking brighter. That's the first shot on target from Claudio Braga. And suddenly Hearts do look a little bit more like they're at the races. I think, in effect, they've actually switched to a back three now. Kingsley playing further up on the left-hand side. Steinbender, Halkett and Finley making up the back three. Kizaridis playing as a very attacking right wing-back. Forward come Rangers. Touch off to Chamiti. Chamiti with lovely feet in the penalty area. Is it going to break to Raskin? No, it's not. As he shoots, does he catch the Hearts player? No, he doesn't. The referee's played on. Raskin touches it back. Shot comes in from distance. Comfortably held by Sholo. Play shot from Skov Olsen from about 25 yards straight at the German goalkeeper. And although Hearts looking a little bit brighter going forwards, they were nearly caught at the back there. Headed back by Kingsley to Finley. Finley playing left-sided of the three central defenders now. He plays forward, ball into Brava. Brava helps it onto Shankland. Shankland across to Spittle. Spittle out to the right. Kizaridis is in the penalty area, loses his footing, gets back up again. Comes inside on his left foot. He bends one, he's hit the post. It's full up and it's in. Hearts have equalised. It's Kingsley playing further forward on the left-hand side. From the change of shape by Derek McInnes, Kizaridis, the other wing-back, curled a shot left foot and it hit the post. It came out to Kingsley. He followed up first time, put it past Jack Butland. Hearts have been much improved in the first 9 minutes of this second half and they've got the goal they deserve. It's 1-1 here at Tynecastle. Excellent move from Hearts. They were patient. They got the ball to the right-hand side. Kizaridis got back on his feet having stumbled, curled his shot. Butland had no chance. Came off the post to Kingsley and he's rifled it home first time for his second goal of the season. And suddenly this game has a completely different dynamic. Very composed finish from Kingsley. Read it well, just came off the post and he very calmly just stuck his left foot out and punched it back in. Stephen Kingsley has got Hearts level. And that point at the moment would see them have a point advantage over Celtic, but almost as importantly, it would keep Rangers all the way back 3 points short of Celtic, 4 points short of Hearts, if this result stays the same. Danny Roll standing, arms folded across his chest, still looking pretty calm and composed, but a slight look of tension on his face now. He saw his team dominate the first half in all of the key statistics, but Hearts have reshuffled their shape at half-time. Credit to Derek McInnes, didn't hang around. He's brought Blair Spittle on, who's released Claudio Braga a little bit more, and suddenly Hearts look like a completely different prospect. Goal kick to Rangers. Jack Butland waves his two central defenders further forward, and it's going to be a long goal kick from Butland. Hearts fans have suddenly woken up. They've got something to cheer about now. They will have been disappointed with their team's first half performance, but they can't fault what they've brought to the party in the second. Rangers trying to play nicely here through the third. Chamiti gets it over to Moore. Moore just loses out. Sterling comes bundling in to try and win the ball back. Raskin unable to get there, but Hearts lose it in midfield. Diamandi touches it over to Tavernier. Tavernier shoots from distance, and that is always rising. Goes high up into the stands behind Sholo's goal. Just seeing the finish once again from Kingsley. Skov Olsen definitely ball watching, rather than thinking about what would happen if the ball did hit the post. And Kingsley was also watching, but watching the action, and was just able to calmly side foot it home. Such a composed finish under pressure. It would have been very easy for him to panic as the ball came back to him off the woodwork. Hearts come forward again. Good touch by Shankland, but no, there's a foul in the middle of the field. Baningame just getting a little bit too physical with Raskin, and Rangers do look a little bit rattled defensively. They still look comfortable going forwards, but going the other way, they don't look as happy as they did. Fernandez comes forward, strides all the way up towards the penalty area, unchallenged. Lays it off to Raskin. Raskin goes out to Dujon Sterling, gives it back down the line to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore comes inside. Good tackle from Steinbender. Played forward by Kizaridis, but it deflects up into the penalty area, headed away by Hearts. Played forward again by Fernandez. He keeps trying to push it down that left-hand side. Raskin puts a bit of pressure onto Mark Leonard, and has that come off the Hearts man for a corner? I think it might have done. McInnes protesting that decision from the technical area. And across comes James Tavernier to take another set piece for Rangers. Fernandez comes forward, Giga comes forward. They start to loiter on the edge of the 6-yard box. It's going to be a throw-in, not a corner. So Tavernier's going to spear this one into the near post area once again. In it comes. Sholo thought about coming, doesn't come. Header comes in from Fernandez as Sholo collapses to his left and grabs onto the ball just in front of his goal line. I think Fernandez might have picked up a knock to the head as well. Going up with Stein Bender. Yeah, you can see it. Oh, yeah, you can just see it there. Fernandez won the header. Seemed to be trotting out of the area and then just sort of stumbled to the floor a little bit. I think the shock might have hit him fractionally afterwards. Stein Bender hit the deck immediately because it was Fernandez following through with the heading motion after he made contact with the ball that caught the Austrian on the side of the head. Danny Roll just using this moment just to try and get a few more bits of information across to his team after this tactical reshuffle by Hearts. What is Danny Roll going to do differently himself? So Rangers managed to avoid their tradition of slow starts in the first half recently. They didn't struggle in the first 15 minutes at all, but they have conceded in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Hearts have won 2 of the 3 league meetings against Rangers this season, 2-0 away at Ibrox, 2-1 here at Tynecastle earlier in the season, but Rangers did take the last one in February 4-2, and that was a thoroughly entertaining game. Both teams have experienced pretty wild games recently. Hearts staged that comeback against 9-man Hibs to win 2-1, and Rangers recently recovered 2-0 down to beat Falkirk 6-3, only then to lose 3-2 to Motherwell last weekend. Stein Benders is getting some bandaging around his head. Be surprised if he's able to continue. If he's taken a heavy enough knock to the head to need a bandage, then you would assume that he's going to be concussed, but we shall see what happens to him. Don't forget, Hearts not lost a single league game at Tynecastle this season. 13 wins, 14 draws. It is the most formidable home record in the country. So as the table stands, you've got Hearts top, 74 points after 35 games. Celtic second, also 35 games played, 73 points. Rangers would be in third still, 35 games, 70 points. Steinbender is making his way to the sideline to change his shirt. So there's definitely some blood that has been shed as well. Quick change of shirt, nicely done by the Hearts kit men. Steinbender is going to continue, heavily bandaged up. I think the blood's coming from the back of his head. We are back underway. Sholo has the ball in his hands at the edge of his box. Chimiti is standing about 5 yards away from him. Sholo launches the ball forwards, high up into the sky, one in the air by Tavernier. He heads towards Scott Olsen. Kingsley plays it down the line where Braga challenges in with Chukwani. Braga felt he was fouled by the midfielder, but the referee says no. Braga 14 goals this season, 3 assists since coming in from Ollesund in the July transfer window last year. He hasn't scored since the Motherwell game though, 23 days ago on the 11th of April, so he'll be keen to try and get that little mini drought sorted. Finley's on the floor at the moment. He's back to his feet though, and I think he's more concerned that it was a free kick than he's actually injured. He's looking around to the assistants to ask why they didn't see what happened there. And throw into Rangers on the right hand side. Tavernier steps up in line with the centre circle, comes forward, takes the throw long down the line towards Chimiti. Chimiti bumps into Findlay again, trying to create contact and get away, but this time free kick given, and Finley again in the ear of John Beaton, suggesting that the physicality of the Rangers man is getting a little bit over the top. I doubt that will worry Yusuf Chamiti too much. He'll just keep doing what he's doing. Sholo's come all the way out of his goal. He's going to take this free kick. 1-1 here. Hearts 1, Rangers 1. 63 minutes just comes up on the clock. Long free kick forward, cleared away by Rangers, looking for Chamiti, won again by Halkett. He plays it forward, just needed that to be headed back to Butland by Giga, otherwise Braga was sniffing, he could have got in there. Tavernier, short ball to Chukwani. Chukwani's attempted hook down the line, comes off Spittle, goes all the way through for a goal kick to Rangers. Butland rolls the ball over to the side of his penalty area. The good thing about this game is that Rangers will have to keep pressing, they'll have to keep pushing, and that could well leave Hearts with the opportunity to hit them on the break. So I don't think we're going to see Rangers content with a 1-1. Hearts would take it, of course they would, but they'd also like to try and hit Rangers on the break if the chance so provides it to be that way. Shanklin, clever little reverse ball down the line, looking for Spittle. Fernandez made an absolute pig's ear of that and then comes sliding in the second time to block the cross, concedes the corner. Good work by the sub Blair Spittle, came on at half time, and although he's not been massively influential on the ball yet, the change of shape that his arrival brought has been influential. Mark Leonard comes out here to take this first corner of the game for Hearts, near hand side here at Tynecastle. It's going to be a right-footed out-swinging corner. Cross to the middle. Oh, that nearly broke to a Hearts player who's rushing around the back. Rangers get it and get it away quickly. They're moving forwards now with Mikey Moore. That's a good touch by Moore to drift inside two Hearts players. He's moving towards the penalty area. He tries to get it across to Skov Olsen, and it comes with Steinbender, and it goes out for a corner to Rangers at the other end. Rapid counter-attack from Rangers, and we saw a glimpse of what Mikey Moore can do there. Drifted in between Baningame and Kizaridis on the counter-attack, and very skillful, very natural with the ball at his feet, Mikey Moore, the Tottenham loanee, and he's won his team a corner at the other end of the pitch. And James Tavernier is out there once again to take said corner, puts both arms up in the air, steps up, swings the corner into the near post. First contact by a Hearts head. Lawrence Shanklin heads it away deep into Rangers territory. They retrieve the ball on the halfway line. Skov Olsen thought about going forwards, but then goes back to his keeper, Jack Butland. Butland wastes no time before launching it forward, and that's gone all the way through to Sholo, who takes it comfortably on the penalty spot without the ball even bouncing. Long clearance by Butland, but somewhat aimless. Sholo hits it forward towards the head of Lawrence Shanklin. He tries to flick it on, but it comes off Dujon Sterling, goes out for a throw-in. Danny Roll's going to be making a change any minute now. There's at least one Rangers player going through the final instructions on the tablet. He'll be on the touchline very soon, I'm sure, coming into the game. Throw-in taken by Steinbender. Up into Shanklin, breaks nicely for Kizaridis. He goes round the outside again, gets the shot in. Butland stays strong at his near post, then collapses on the ball at the second time of asking. Nice bit of play by Kizaridis to get a bit of space in the penalty area. Struck the ball well enough, but Butland had the angles covered all day long. Chamiti, nice little layoff to Raskin. He's been quiet in the second half, Nicholas Raskin. Now he plays forward. Good little step over by Mikey Moore, but Skov Olsen wasn't quite on the same wavelength. One in midfield by Chamiti, and then Chamiti goes crashing into Kizaridis' elbow. And it was Dujon Sterling, in fact, who picked it up. His momentum took him into Kizaridis, who was just standing his ground, but the free kick has been given to Rangers, so they're going to get the opportunity to deliver a ball into a dangerous area once again, as expected. Tavernier is there. Skov Olsen also hanging around the ball, as is Diamande. Hearts just deciding where they're going to hold their line. They've opted for midway between the penalty area and the edge of the D. Tavernier steps up, clips it into the box, headed away first time and then hooked high up into the sky by Finley. Goes out to the right hand side. That's a poor touch by Diamande. Hearts are able then to clear down the line. And is that still in play? Yeah, it looks like it is still in play as Rangers go back to Jack Butland inside his own D, now outside of the D, and he plays long again, looking forward. Good jump in the air by the head bandaged Steinwender. Wins the second ball as well, breaks into the feet of Mikey Moore. Bit deep for Rangers here, so gives the ball into midfield, and Chukwani has to turn and go all the way back to Butland again because Hearts had got themselves into a good defensive shape. Butland touches it off to Giga. Giga through the lines towards Chamiti. Chamiti does well to hold that up, but then equally well does Halkett. No, the referee says Halkett was a bit too forceful coming through to take the ball off the Portuguese striker. Just having a look back of it now, and I don't know about that one myself. Thought Halkett was just big and strong, and Chamiti allowed himself to be tackled from behind. So this change is now going to be made by Rangers. Skov Olsen is coming off, and it's going to be Gassama who comes on. Jedi Gassama came in from Sheffield Wednesday in the summer, 2.1 million signing. Sheffield Wednesday very much needing the money. He was previously at PSG. He's got 8 goals for Rangers. Can he add another one off the bench today? Headed away by Halkett. An offside or a foul given there by Beaton. So free kick to Hearts. Derek McInnes is looking on. Roll pacing up and down, looking a little bit more stressed than the calm-looking German has looked all afternoon. 37 years old, Danny Roll. Another player who came in from, a manager who came in from Sheffield Wednesday, of course, brought Gassama with him. Gassama this is his 9th time coming off the bench this season. He scored once off the bench as a sub. Cross comes in, goes to Shanklin. Shanklin shoots, Shanklin scores. Goal from absolute nothing for Hearts, and they have the lead. What a first time finish that is from Hearts' captain. It was a nothing looking cross from the left hand side. The Rangers defence has let it come all the way across the penalty area. Shanklin had a couple of yards space and he just swept it home left footed. Butland with no chance at all. Such a cool finish from Lawrence Shanklin. The ball looked like Rangers thought the ball was going out. The cross came in from Kingsley, I think it was, on the left hand side. Yeah, it is. It's Kingsley again involved. He pulls it all the way back. Shanklin just pulled away to the edge of the penalty area, completely unmarked. There wasn't really any pace on the cross either, and Shanklin's kept it down perfectly. Sweeping finish past Jack Butland, who might have been slightly unsighted because he almost pulled his arm away, Jack Butland, as well. Hearts don't care. Their captain's put them 2-1 up with his 14th goal of the season, and that could be a massive goal in this title sprint. And they come forward again, Hearts, down the right-hand side, and they've got a free kick just outside the penalty area. Kizaridis tugged back by Sterling, and Rangers suddenly are absolutely rocking. Was that inside the penalty area? No, don't think it was actually. Don't think it was. Kizaridis was nearly in the area when Sterling fouled him. 18,831 spectators here at Tynecastle, and they are in much finer voice now. This has been an incredible second half turnaround so far by the league leaders. Derek McInnes changed the shape at half time. He didn't like what he'd seen in the first period. He brought Blair Spittle on Spittle, as I've said, hasn't been massively instrumental in terms of what he's done, but his arrival allowed the shape to change, and it is that change of shape that has caused Rangers all kinds of problems. Now, Hearts have a dangerous free kick here. It's right on the corner of the penalty area. It's right on the penalty area line. Leonard and Kingsley are standing over it. Kingsley's going to take this, I'm sure. He's been involved in both goals. Diamante's found himself in the book for something he said. Kingsley puts one hand up. Is he going to shoot or is he going to swing it in? He plays it across the edge of the box. Shot from distance, only just wide. Wow, what a strike that was from Blair Spittle. Clever little free kick routine. Oh, it's a wonder save by Butland. That is an amazing save, because that was whistling into the top corner. From the angle I was looking at, you couldn't see Butland get a touch on it. But then on the replay, that is a fantastic save by the former England international. What a save that could be in the context of this game. How important might that be for Rangers? Diamante's going to miss the next match, the Old Firm game against Celtic on the 10th of May. Here comes the corner from Leonard. Header from Halkett goes up and over the crossbar. In fact, no, it was Findlay who came in behind Halkett. Cool, he got enough on the ball to do better with that as well. Goes up and over the crossbar. Just saying to Leonard what a good ball that is that he's put in. Double change coming up for Rangers now. And yeah, they need to do something. Who are they going to be bringing on? Well, Dujon Sterling's going off. See from where I am what else is happening. Is that Mikey Moore they're replacing? It might be. Yeah, it's Moore who's gone off, and Raskin, I think, actually. So Raskin and Moore have gone off. Nadiri has come on. I didn't see who the other player was who's come on to the pitch, so I have to wait for confirmation of those changes. Yeah, Nadiri, no doubt, will be playing a lot closer to Youssef Chamiti than Mikey Moore was. Skov Olsen also replaced. Long ball into the Hearts area, dealt with by Halkett, heads it away, hooked forward by Kingsley, only up into the night sky. Well brought down, and now Shankland brings it forward. Is he able to touch it off? No, that's well recovered in midfield. Romans has come on. He's playing left back now for Sterling, and he's been the first choice left back for most of the games this season. He's on the pitch, gets his first touch of the ball, playing slightly wider. Through goes Diamante, plays it into Nadiri. Nadiri gets it out. Chamiti's gone left, so Nadiri's gone through the middle. Chamiti's moved to the left. Tello Asgard is on as well, so complete reshuffle here by Rangers. So you can have Chukwani and Diamante sitting deeper. Asgard is going to be playing just behind the front three now. Rangers need to come up with something in the remaining 14 minutes plus injury time. They've got a free kick out on this left-hand touchline. Tavernier's over here again. He's going to be swinging this one into the penalty area. Hearts hold their line just inside their penalty area. Important for them to keep their concentration now, and Rangers going to be coming at them. Hearts have got to stay strong. In comes that corner from Tavernier, all the way into the penalty area. Good punch initially. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Back into the box again, headed away by Halkett. So Sholo came and punched pretty well, I thought, but the header came back in from a Rangers player, looped up and ended up hitting the crossbar. I'm surprised the foul wasn't given for the challenge on Sholo initially, and it is a corner to Rangers, and Tavernier's over there. I think it was Asgard who got the header to loop back up into the box, and it hit the bar. There is a Hearts player on his backside. I think that's Findlay. Bit of argy-bargy in that penalty area, and yeah, actually, I think the Rangers player, whoever it was, is it Gassimer or is it Chukwani? Chukwani's just pretty much thrown Mark Leonard to the floor. And Kikwani's doing it all again. I think the referee's going to have another word. He keeps trying to stick his head underneath the armpit of Leonard. In comes the corner, headed away at the far post by Finley. Back into the box again. Good jump by Halkett. Clears the ball out of the penalty area. He goes out to the wing where Braga holds it up. Now then plays it down the line. That goes straight out for a Rangers throw-in. Throw-in that will be taken by Tavernier, who's now racing over from taking the corner to the right-hand side. He's been everywhere in this game, James Tavernier. Probably going to throw this one into the penalty area once again. He's got enough distance on his throw to do so. He does throw it in. First contact won by Giga. Headed away. Leonard goes up and hooks it forwards. Rangers retreat to the halfway line and go all the way back to Jack Butland. He takes a touch and rolls it under his studs before driving it forwards again. This time out to the left where Chimiti brings it down brilliantly on his chest. Nice little touch to Asgard. Asgard's bundled over, no free kick. Away comes Kizaridis, but that's come off the Greek, and that's going to be a throw-in, I think, to Hearts, unless the referee's given a free kick, because Steinbender is down on the deck once again. He's been in the wars on his 26th birthday. Steinbender, heavily bandaged head, and then the Austrian has had his right foot stamped on there by Asgard, but no, the only thing that's been given is a throw into Rangers, which Romans is going to take. He looks forward, tries to point a couple of players to move into the position that he wants. In the end, then just throws it up field towards Chimiti. Well won in the air by Halkett, heads forward. Back up in the air again by Leonard. Braga tries to win it, but he's been out-jumped by Diamandi. Kizaridis gets it forward to Braga. Braga, that's a big tackle that's come through from Fernandez, and the referee's got the yellow card out immediately. Fernandez comes in very forcefully from behind on Braga. Braga just popped the ball off to one side, and Fernandez came chopping in from behind. He won the ball, but one of those tackles that centre halves aren't really allowed to do anymore. In the old days, that would have been a very good, strong tackle by Emmanuel Fernandez, but it is 2026, and referee John Beaton felt it was a foul and a yellow card. So Braga's back up on his feet, no damage done. He's wearing the smallest of shin pads. He's going to receive tackles like that. He might want to upgrade the size of them before the end of the game. 10 minutes to go plus injury time. That was Fernandez's second yellow card of the season, previously booked against Hibs back on the 15th of December. In comes the free kick, cleared away by Rangers up towards Chimiti. He leaves one on Finley, and the referee gives a free kick there as well. Chimiti can't believe that has been considered an unfair challenge. And looking back on my monitor, I haven't got a clue what he's going on about. He's barged right through the back of Finley as he was clearing the ball upfield, and Finley just having a word with him again, and you think he's keeping a personal count of fouls he's had off the Portuguese striker. Hearts preparing a couple of subs themselves, and it is Ryan Nadiri who's come on to try and save Rangers. Came in the February window for 4.7 million from Hansa Rostock in Germany. Only got the one goal for them so far. 22 years old, and Braga's now down with a bit of cramp, I think, in the Rangers penalty area. The cynic in me thinks that we might see Hearts just try and slow the game down wherever they can, though Braga does actually genuinely look in a fair bit of discomfort there. Two subs bouncing up and down on the sidelines for Hearts and Midlothian. Derek McInnes is going to roll the dice a couple more times, I think, to try and close this game out. The one sub he's made so far, Blair Spittle, has changed the dynamic of the game because of the change of shape. Just trying to see who's going to be hooked for Hearts now. 82 minutes on the clock, and I think Kizaridis is one who's going to be going off, and wouldn't surprise me to see a more defensive-minded right side option come off, and Braga's been given an outstanding reception by the Tynecastle crowd as well, as he's also being subbed off. So on comes McCart and Kabore. So Jamie McCart's on. Is he going to play down the right-hand side? I'd be very surprised. I would imagine Steinbender might shuffle up to right wing back and McCart goes in the middle. And Claudia Braga is also being replaced. Just waiting for that substitution to be confirmed. Rangers making one as well. It looks like Chikwani's going off. And let's see who's replaced him as well. I've got the best vantage point here to see who the players are coming on. That looks like Bojan Mijovski is on, and that makes a lot of sense as well. Kabori is on for Hearts. He'll be up front alongside Shanklin for the last few minutes. Pierre Kabori came in for Trans. Ball into the box, well judged by Shkolo. Comes and takes it. Gassama hits the deck. I think he's trying to convince the referee that Finley was a little bit naughty off the ball there as that ball came in. Beaton's gone over to have a look at something. Arsgaard played it in, and Gassama, the Rangers players are appealing for something there. I think they think that Finley caught Gassama as he ran in. Let's see if we can see that again. Arnson plays it in. There's nothing in that at all from my point of view. Yeah, there's a bit of contact between Finley and Gassama, but it's just good defending from Finley. Gassama's furious with the decision though. So Diamande is off and Mijovski is on, so he's going to play through the middle as well now, I would imagine. Bojan Mijovski. So pretty much a 4-2-4 for Rangers now as they try and get themselves back into this game. Free kick given against Yusuf Chamiti. 5.5 minutes plus stoppages. And there's Sholo played the ball forward. The referee felt that Chamiti was too close to him and has stopped and started the game again, and Hearts won't mind that at all. Takes another 20 seconds, 30 seconds off the clock. Ball's down on the deck. Sholo will drive this free kick forward. Plays it long, looking for Shanklin. One in the air by Fernandez. Fernandez heads forward. Nadiri tries to link it up, but that's well hooked out again by Leonard, and that's gone up and out for a throw. Or has there been another free kick given by Beaton? Yeah, I think John Beaton might have given a free kick there against Lawrence Shanklin as well, so no drop ball in fact. No idea what happened there, but we're back underway. Arsgaard will try and play as close to the front four as humanly possible now. Flipped on by Mijovski. Headed away by Tavernier. Goes down the right-hand side, throw into Rangers on this right-hand side. Tavernier's over there quickly to get the ball. He's going to want to do everything with urgency now. Danny Roll still chewing gum on the sidelines, hoping to see that his changes will give Rangers something here. Arsgaard has the ball in the centre circle, goes to the right to Tavernier. He plays it wide right to Gassama. Gassama starts running at the Hearts backline. Tricky feet, but that's good defending by Finley. Just watch the ball, plays forward towards Kabori. Kabori makes Giga put it out for a throw-in, and Hearts will be happy with that. A chance to slow it down again. Derek McInnes urging his team from the sideline to keep talking to each other, giving the world-renowned or recognised signal of flapping his hand between his fingers and his thumbs, suggesting talk, talk, talk. Kingsley throws the ball down the line. One in the air by Rangers. They come forward again, but Leonard hooks it forward once more. Shanklin heads it down. Hooked forward by Chikwani. And cleared upfield by Finley. Well brought down by Kabori, but couldn't then get the second touch right. And Giga's able to stab it back to Jack Butland. Butland moves it quickly to Fernandez. Fernandez moves forward, looking for options. Nothing in midfield because they've got so many strikers on the pitch now. It's easy for Hearts to stop Arsgaard and Chikwani getting on the ball. Fernandez has it, moving forward down the left-hand side. Opts to go back inside to Chikwani. Chikwani plays it into the box, headed away initially by Steinbender. McCart helps it forward as well. Kabori chases it down. That's pinched off the toes of Tavernier. That's good work by Hearts. They've recycled the ball forward to Kabori, but he's offside. Just went a little bit too soon. And he's saying to his teammates, don't have to play forward as quickly as that. Just slow it down, slow it down. And I think he's right. There's another Hearts player down with cramp. The Rangers player quickly trying to help him so they can get him back up on his feet as quickly as possible. It's going to be 2 minutes plus injury time left here at the end of this game. Hearts lead by 2-1. And at the moment, it could well mean that Lawrence Shankland's 71st minute goal is the winning goal here, which will put Hearts 3 points clear at the top of the table once again. And that will be absolutely massive in the state of affairs at the top of the table. Hearts will play in their remaining fixtures. Motherwell away, Falkirk at home, and then on the last day of the season, of course, they travel to Parkhead to play Celtic on May 16th. Celtic, well, they have Rangers at home next Sunday, then they play Motherwell, and then they play Hearts, of course, in that last day shootout. And what a shootout it could be. That could be winner takes all, winner takes the title. And Rangers' last 3 matches, well, we know they're playing Celtic next weekend, then they play Hibs, then they finish against Falkirk. But defeat here pretty much does call time on their title challenge, you would imagine. In comes the ball into the 6-yard box, and Sholo reacts quickly, gets to it, collapses to the floor. 30 seconds plus stoppages. Kingsley is off and Kent is on now for Hearts. Frankie Kent has come on to try and close this game out. Also joined from Peterborough United. Big ball forward by Rangers, looking to release Chamiti down the left-hand side. He gets there, does he? Yes, he does. Just about keep it in play. And then that's a good challenge that comes in from Halkett. He steps across. We're going to have 7 minutes of injury time here. 7 minutes here at Tyne Castle. Is that enough time for Rangers to do something? The ball touches the corner flag. Does it stay in? Has Roman kept that in? I don't know what's happening here. Referee isn't being the clearest yet. He's now signalling that it is a throw-in. And it is a throw-in to Hearts, right in by the corner flag. It's all getting a little bit heated here. Steinbender just taking his time. Hearts will be as keen as anything to take as much time off the clock as possible between each restart. Steinbender has the ball. He's going to take this throw-in. Steps up, launches it down the line. Kabori loses out in the air, headed forward again by Leonard. Big win by McCart, and then hooked forward and out of play by Kent. His first touch of the ball. Fernandez has it in the Hearts half. He goes all the way back to the halfway line where Giga quickly moves it over to Tavernier. Tavernier plays it out towards Arsgaard, but that was asking too much of the Norwegian. Has that come off the head of Leonard? Yeah, I think the referee or the assistant has said that it has. No, changed their mind, in fact, and it's going to be a throw-in for Steinbender, who very slowly moves over to the ball to take it. 91 minutes, 30 seconds. We're going to be going through to 97 here. And this is crucial for Hearts to hold on, and it's as crucial for Rangers to try and get a point out of it. Ideally, they would want all 3, but they would certainly take a point right now. Launched the ball forward, brought down by McCart. McCart helps it upfield, and it breaks down to Kent, who's trying to bring the ball forward. Nice ball inside to Shankland. Shankland gives it back outside, asking Finley to run forward. Spittle puts Tavernier under pressure. And it's a throw-in to Hearts deep inside the Rangers half. Shankland has put in a shift. He's breathing heavily. Has he got enough in the tank to get them over the line here? throwing down the line. Again, looking for Shankland. Has that come off a Rangers player? No, it hasn't. That's a goal kick to Rangers and an opportunity for Jack Butland to slam the ball as far forward as he possibly can, because they're going to have to keep getting the ball into attacking areas here. Hearts are going to make their final substitution, and it is Lawrence Shankland. He hasn't got anything left in the tank. He's going to be replaced. Hands the captain's armband over, and it was his left-footed strike in the 71st minute that got Hearts ahead. Altena, the fullback, is coming on, so I think Hearts might be going to a back seven to see this game out. They've got everyone at the back now. I think Altena will probably just sit in front of Steinwender, maybe, as Rangers desperately try to find a way through this Hearts rear guard now. Tavernier has it on the right hand side again, plays it across to Fernandez, big ball forwards on the diagonal, looking for Chamiti wins the header, gets it down. Oh, that's a good tackle that comes in again from Mark Leonard. He's been superb defensively in midfield, just poked the ball away as it fell on the edge of the box. Another long ball forward by Hearts. Chamiti wins the header again. Gets the ball down on the edge of the box. Goes to the outside. Stands Steinwender up. Steinwender does so well. He nearly fell over his own feet, but just managed to gain his balance in time. Kabori's battled well with Fernandez. Has he been fouled? No, the referee says no. Ogsgaard gets it once again. The number 11 drifts it up into the penalty area. They're just launching the ball into the box each time here, Rangers, and they've got so many people in there. Who can blame them? Fernandez is playing as a fourth centre forward now as well, and it's his shot that deflects away for a corner. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Corner for Rangers on the far hand side, the left hand side. Tavernier takes it, crosses it into the box, headed away by Hearts. Chance for the ball to come in again. Oh, and that is terrible by Gassama. Shoots high and wide, tried to bend it top corner when the box was loaded of options for a decent ball in. He went for glory and there was no glory to be found, and Hearts breathe another sigh of relief. We're approaching 90 seconds left. Shankland is screaming instructions from the dugout. Hearts fans all over the place in prayer motion. Some of them can hardly look. Sholo hasn't been booked for taking forever with this goal kick, so he can probably take his time over the next one if he has to have another one. Played down the line, pinched by Steinwender. He just thumps the ball up front again, asking Kabori to run. Butland comes out of his penalty area and heads it out for a throw-in, and a massive roar goes up around Tynecastle. They know they can take their time over this. Again, fans all over the stadium, young and old, look nervously on. There is 1 minute left here at Tynecastle. 60 seconds for Hearts to hold on to what will be a monumental victory. It'll be their third victory over Rangers of the season, and the biggest one yet in terms of importance. Throw in, headed away by Rangers, only half cleared again by Rangers. Steinwender just thumps it up into the penalty area where Butland's able to get it into his hands, and Butland is going to be able to deliver this one forward. He rolls it all the way out of his area. He launches it forward. Big kick by Jack Butland, but well won in the air by McCart. Heads it forward. Kabori's going to be able to do something with this. Tavernier helps it forward. Rangers, Gassama gets it under control. Chamiti's in there. There's Rangers players almost all too many in each other's way. Cross comes in. Can they clear it, Hearts? They have cleared it out. Headed back forward again by Tavernier. It goes to Argsford. Can he launch the ball into the box? He gets it wide out to Romans. Romans left-footed. Sizes up the cross. Puts it into the box. Header at the far post goes wide. Chamiti came round the back, leaning over the top of Finlay. His header goes wide, and surely that is going to be it. Sholo has a yellow card in the bank. He can take as long as he wants over this free kick, and that has got to be the end of this game. Danny Roll knows it. He's walking back towards his technical dugout. He looks like a manager who knows the title challenge might be up for his team. Tony Bloom is necking a glass of water. He's had a wonderful season with Brighton, but I don't think what they're doing down there will match what Hearts are on the verge of doing here. Scarves are being waved all round Tynecastle, and there goes the final whistle. Derek McInnes exchanges a handshake with Danny Roll. The Hearts players are jubilant, they're celebrating. They know what a massive victory this is here at Tynecastle. Massive 3 points for the home team. And that means, with all three teams having played 35 games, Hearts have a 3-point advantage over Celtic once again, and a 5-goal advantage on goal difference. Rangers, they are stuck on 69 points. They are 7 points off the top, and you have to assume, barring a disaster for Hearts or Celtic, Rangers are out of the title race. It looks like it is between Derek McInnes' Hearts and Martin O'Neill's Celtic for the Scottish title. Celtic play Rangers next week, and Hearts will travel to Motherwell. What a turnaround it has been here at Tynecastle. Rangers led 1-0 at half time, and it all changed in the 54th minute when Stephen Kingsley tapped home after the ball rebounded off the post, and then Lawrence Shanklin turned in Stephen Kingsley's cross to give Hearts the lead, and they clung on to it. Absolute scenes here at Tynecastle. It's been an entertaining game. It's been a classic top-of-the-table clash, and it is Hearts who take all 3 points, and their sprint to the title continues. Thank you for joining us here for today's coverage. We'll be back soon with a lot more for you.